Eric, are you okay for a very personal question?
Oh, yes.
Depends.
Yeah, exactly. As long as it is appropriate,
Yes.
dear Ilkay. Yeah.
It will be always appropriate. If someone would turn the clock back to prior lockdown and you're entering again into lockdown, is there one thing that you would say? Because you know, I commend you for the crisis management you have done. Is there one thing that you would say you would do differently in hindsight? So, dear community, as you see, this is now the final day, the third day of JEC. And of course, this is very appropriate. I have here with me Eric Pierrejean. For you who don't know him yet, it would be a wonder for me, but he's the CEO, the group CEO of JEC World. And I'm very honored, Eric, to have you here in the final wrap-up of JEC World.
Thank you, Ilkay. Thank you, and yeah, I'm happy to make you a kind of summary of what we experienced during these 3 very active days. Yeah, I mean, it's been very busy. We've been very busy. I think not only the organization, but most important, all the exhibitors and all the participants.
Absolutely. Last year, I remember we had already warming up this JEC 2022. Was a good, we were familiar, yeah, a smaller amount of exhibitors coming back. But this year, are we back to full scale prior to the lockdown? Are we at scale or are we even over, if you can tell us?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, last year was very special because it was the comeback after the pandemic, and the emotion was there. And I think last year, I think the main learning out of last year is that people were really looking to have a show, an event to come together.
Yes.
We've all together we went through a lot of digital activities. You are one of the leader in that point, but at the end of the day, nothing replaces this face-to-face interaction, yes, the contact with customers, participants. So that was the learning and the main outcome of last year. Mm-hmm. And of course, last year we had, due to the remaining restrictions, we had many people from Europe, from the United States, but less from other countries like Asia. And to deliver the promise of JEC World,
connecting the global community with composites,
JEC
right?
World,
yeah.
To deliver this promise, you have to bring the whole world together. And apart from the numbers and so on, this was visible this year. I mean, the world was back in Paris, yeah, as usual in spring, to talk about, to discuss about composite, to work on composites and so on. So this is really the promise we wanted to deliver. JEC World is back as the global meeting place of the composite industry and beyond, as a showcase, as a festival of what composite can deliver, to show to other sectors. And I've been amazed by the number of people from other industries, mm-hmm, who came here to look at what composites can do in their sector, in other sectors, to be inspired and maybe consider using more composites, because they have in mind some sustainability challenges that, yes, are very important to achieve and to address. So making lighter vehicles, making lighter products, mm-hmm, but also long-lasting products with lack of corrosion and all the other properties of composites can offer solutions to their, mm-hmm, challenges. And I've been amazed by the number of end users. We call them end users because, yeah, they are using composites.
They're applying them, exactly, designing them. Yeah.
And this is really something that we've seen at the show.
So that's really good news then. Yes, yeah, that's absolutely really good news. If we can go over and above our own bubble. Yeah,
Yes.
In LinkedIn we say bubble, or in the digital world, and this also applies, of course, to societies, to networks, and this is a fantastic thing to go over and above.
Yeah, I think
that network.
our organization has been founded 60 years ago, not only to bring people from the industry together, but also to promote composites and to show to the rest of the world, let's say, to people who are not involved in composites, what they can do with composites. So, so this year, for me, the first learning is that it has been very busy. The world was back together, the world of composites, and we've been able to showcase to other industries what composites can deliver.
Yeah. Eric, are you okay for a very personal question?
Oh, yes.
Depends.
Exactly. As long as it is appropriate,
Yes.
dear Ilkay. Yeah.
It will be always appropriate. If you could, or if someone would turn the clock back to prior lockdown, and you're entering again into lockdown, is there one thing that you would say? Because, you know, I commend you for the crisis management you have done. Yeah?
Thank you.
This was really a big success. I mean, we know this was existency relevant,
Yes.
what happened. Is there one thing that you would say you would do differently in hindsight?
I'm happy to see that all the decisions we have taken, not only alone, because, you know, every time we made some tough decisions like postponing the event for a few months and sometimes for a year, we've done it as a dialogue with our participants, with our exhibitors especially.
You got a board of directors, obviously.
Exactly.
You got a chairman.
We got the advisors
Yes.
in our board, but we also made questions. We asked the question to all our exhibitors.
Exactly.
And give them options, you know.
Yeah.
Because our role as JEC is to serve the industry.
Yeah.
We belong to this industry. We serve the industry, so everything we do is dedicated to help the industry develop its market, develop its business and its innovation. So I think having that in mind, we took decisions based on what is the best option for the industry. Yeah. Not simply as a trade show organizer or as a media company and so on. Our goal was really to make the best for the industry. So do maybe something differently. Yeah, maybe one thing is when we did the first postponement of the show, that was in February 2020, we thought...
You postponed it by 3 months?
By 3 months, exactly. Yes. So, of course, but we were all in the same situation. In the same confusion. Yes. So we thought it was only a temporary situation, and in fact it was something that the event organization activities have never experienced before.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Exactly. Sometimes you have some small issues or preparation or context which is not good. Almost never. We never imagined that suddenly trade shows were stopped for 2 years, you know, which, by the way, has been, as I said earlier, a very good test for the importance of trade shows, of Messen, as we say in Germany, des salons, as we say in France. Yeah. These kind of events, they are essential because we are social animals. Huh?
Absolutely.
We are on social media,
yes,
but we are social animals, and we need to be all together to connect, to get to know
the ideas,
exactly.
And from those exchange you get new ideas.
Absolutely.
When I talk to you, one picture comes into my mind. You know, Captain Sully Sullenberger, who landed it on the Hudson. So basically, you took the JEC, landed it safely, and now we are taking off. Now we are looking into the future.
Yes, absolutely. Now,
so everything worked fine, yeah?
I think this year we can, maybe the late date of the show in end of April is maybe the last consequence of all these postponements and changes. But next year we will be back to our regular slot, which is first or second week of March, and which means that it's only in 10 months' time.
10 months' time, and your sales is already exactly. On the heat, yeah?
We are preparing not only the sales, but also the topics we are going to address this year, because this show is also the opportunity to see what are the discussions about, you know, what kind of innovation have popped up or have been more very significant at the show, so that we can prepare the next edition focusing on these topics and highlighting these topics, you know. So we are already looking for startups to attend the program next year. We are already looking at potential candidates for awards, and of course the exhibitors are planning their booths and their presence at the show next year.
So basically what I'm seeing is most exhibitors, they have the option to book the same place. Is there a time period you say you have to book by so that you get the same place? Or how does it work?
There's a process as in every trade show, especially on an annual base. You know, you start selling the places and the booths for the next year during the show. We call it in our activities rebooking. So we start rebooking for the next edition. It's also something that we made very easily for many years. This year we have even innovated. I don't know if you have seen it, but we have created a display of all the kind of booths you can have. If you take a booth provided by the organization, so people can say, okay, I'd like this one or this one.
So they can visualize already
in real life, you know, like when you rent a flat or buy a house, you have one test house or test apartment that you can visit.
It's like a mock-up.
Exactly, it's like a mock-up, but in real life. So that's part of our sales process to offer a wide range of presence to small companies, larger companies, bigger companies, and of course the big players are doing their own booths, and they have their communication statements attached to them.
Okay, very good. So next year the JEC will be in the first or in the second week?
From the 5th to the 7th of March.
From the 5th to the 7th of March. So my call to action to the community is, if you couldn't make it for this edition, we have done so much coverage on JEC. I'm not saying FOMO, but you're really missing out on this exhibition. We've been yesterday, for example, at your Agora stages. There are fantastic speeches there. And also I have to really applaud you also for the atmosphere you are creating in the conferences, with the lightning, with the sound, and so it's an experience. And this is something, of course, we cannot overlay to you guys on the internet or over the internet. What we can do is we can bridge now the time until the next one starts. But before that, we have two more. One is in Italia, in Bologna. We have already talked about it with Enrico before you came. And then we have, of course, Salzburg, JEC Forum Dach. These are not exhibitions, these are forums, but still there are not only the digital channels with the web TV of JEC, with the magazines, but there are also some forums that now start in Italia and in the Dach region, which was in Frankfurt, Augsburg, and now it will be in Salzburg, of course, which is very, very appropriate. Yeah, this is it for the time. I really liked also your conference program regarding the sustainability, of course.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having the German Ministry of Economics and Climate Protection on stage. That was really appreciated. Mr. Loscheider gave a very nice speech yesterday in the evening, and that is something I personally support a lot, because we need to join forces cross-country, internationally, to get our message over, to become lighter, more corrosion resistant, in order to have a more sustainable future. Do you have more ideas in that direction?
Yeah, and this is exactly what we try to do by having not only Mr. Loscheider, because he is representing a country, Germany, who is really leading with a strategy on lightweighting or Leichtbau, as you say in German. And on day 2 we had a panel about European lightweighting. So how can we expand this momentum to other countries to make sure that at European level, because all Europeans are part of the same community and have many challenges in common, how can we globally make lighter products to remove CO2 emissions, to reduce consumption, to use less energy in various, including the production, not only for cars or vehicles and so on, but also in the production process. And I think this the broadening of this lightweighting initiative is, first of all, it highlights one of the key benefits of composites. It's not the only one.
It's not the only one. We are agreed on that, yes.
But it's also very good in terms of achieving the sustainability targets.
We got the Green Deal, we got the Fit for 55 of the European Commission. And the countries, they have to take measures, they have to do tasks. And you are providing, and this is one of the benefits of JEC World, beside of having the exhibitors and visitors coming, very classic. Now we are also, or you're moving also to provide a platform for the bigger picture of this world, because we as a society, we are under a lot of pressure. Changes are coming up, energies are becoming an issue, inflation is becoming an issue, and this is the opportunity to use this platform to take measures together, to join the forces on a European level. And even the potential is here on a worldwide level, like we had a delegation round with the ministry, and we went even to the South Korean pavilion, and even there you saw the hydrogen tanks, and also some carbon art, by the way. I hope everyone has seen it. I've posted that also. So it's even a good thing to drive. Like Mr. Habeck said the other day, he said, finally we are at a topic where we all agree. And it's important.
It's a global topic, and Europe as a region has a lot of things to do in that sector. But you mentioned South Korea, and you see that globally addressing sustainability challenges by lightweighting, by reducing energy consumption. A lot of countries and people are aware of it, and this is where composites also have a role to play, because they are improving all aspects of their own industry in reducing CO2, reducing emissions, reducing waste, and so on. So really being circular within composites, the composites activities. But composites are enabling many other industries, like renewable energies, wind energy, solar. If you've seen I'm sure you have seen the solar panels, as well as the wind turbines. It's also a way to enter the future, and in terms of energy, one of the best examples is hydrogen.
Yes.
I mean, we see on the show that hydrogen storage, hydrogen transportation will need composites, because to really store either compressed or liquid and compressed hydrogen, you will need composite tanks and composite solutions. So these are the two facets of sustainability we wanted to highlight in the conference. One is what composites are doing within the industry, what the composite industry is doing to improve its processes, including recycling. There are plenty of news on that sector. And also how composites are enabling to achieve a sustainability target for the rest of the world, let's say, and starting with a lot of industries that can use composites to achieve these targets.
So in any aspect, I'm really proud of our industry right now. I'm a bit emotional on this the last 3 days, because also, have you realized how LinkedIn is rocked by the composite industry? Hundreds of posts about this JEC World. I know you are busy, but when you walk through the feed of course, we have now our own feed, and of course, it is a bit more composite. But I'm now 3 years very active on LinkedIn, but I've never seen something like this, not nearly like this. So we have really cracked the LinkedIn universe. And when you say that we are coming out of the bubble and other industries are joining, my call to action to the community is use the visibility, use your booth on JEC World, or maybe other institutions. We appreciate also other institutions, of course, and you know, make our message of becoming lighter and greener, make it known to the world.
Yeah, clearly you see, of course, a bit differently, but it's mirroring what happens on the show itself, you know, because, as I said, it's not only the trade show of the industry, it's about business, innovation, and so on with industry, but it's also a showcase to the rest of the world of what composite can do. We have seen on the show flying cars, flying vehicles, I don't know how to name them.
He says flying cars.
There are many concepts. We have seen new kind of products, of even in terms of art, of sports article and so on.
And the train, the wagon,
huge wagon of composites. Also the wings of the future for the airplane. So these are examples that are showing to other industries what composite can deliver. And you see it also on social networks. It gets more resonance, so I don't know, relevance and impact, because people say, wow, this industry is providing new solutions and helps to create new products that are very innovative, you know?
Absolutely. And you have been one of the key drivers since 1960.
Well, exactly. 63.
63.
Yeah, we started, you know, the mission was to use the media at that time, which was an information bulletin.
Yes.
This is how JEC started.
Yes.
Then second mission, apart from sharing information, was to bring people together. That's how the first JEC events were created.
Absolutely.
And the third mission, which is to promote innovation, we started 25 years ago with the Innovation Awards, and now 6 years ago with the Startup Booster, which has also been a very interesting and inspiring element of the event, because you see what young innovators, young entrepreneurs make with new technology, a new idea to tackle the challenge of the future. And you have seen the winners from various countries, one from Canada, one from Switzerland, one from Egypt, with new solutions. It's great to see the energy of these startups in the industry.
And it's not only the young companies, it's also younger generations. I have Philip, for example, who spoke at the Composites Large Conference about composite recycling. I know composite recycling, we got Guillaume Perben, who got the prize, but also younger generation is thinking about it, and he had quite nice ideas. This is very wonderful, Eric, for this wrap-up. So we are wrapping this up this fantastic week. Don't forget your bookings for next week. Arrange your hotel, your flight, and of course your booth.
You mean for next year?
For next year. For next year. I'm sorry. For next year. And yeah, Eric, do you wanna have a say to our community who was here exhibiting and visiting? Do you have a message to them? A personal message?
Well, quit work, make composites.
Exactly, make composites. So in order to reduce the CO2 footprint.
Absolutely, and join us at JEC World, because, as you say, Ilkay, it's an experience in itself, and it's difficult. You made a lot of efforts to convey, to express what you have experienced here, what you have seen, and so on. But being part of this very energetic moment is absolutely great. So,
thank you so much for this interview, and all the best, community. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you soon.